If you are a man looking for more energy, focus, and self-control, I have prepared a powerful ebook that will show you how semen retention can transform your life. Link in the first pinned comment. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to fall, but difficult to get off the ground afterwards? Most don't even understand what's behind a relapse. They think it's just a lack of willpower, when, in fact, it's a silent sabotage orchestrated by the mind, addiction, and everything that wants to keep you small. And the worst part, no one teaches you how to defend yourself from this. Not even at home. Not even at school. Not even in church. But today, that changes. The truth is that there is a mental code that strong men already know, a set of powerful thoughts that act as armor against impulses. Thoughts that shield you against guilt, reconnect you with the light of the Creator of the universe, and give you back control over yourself. And the most surprising thing, you don't need months to see results. Just apply this every day the right way. So if you're tired of falling, if you're exhausted from living in the cycle of guilt and want to finally feel peace, clarity, and real prosperity, stay until the end. Because these 30 thoughts will change the game. These are not ready-made phrases of cheap motivation. They are keys. Keys that open the door to your highest potential. Ready to break the cycle once and for all? The combination of loneliness and idleness is dangerous. It is the birthplace of relapses. It takes action and movement to redirect sexual energy. You know that moment when the mind starts playing tricks, and the silence in the house becomes a disguised invitation? That's where the danger lies. Being alone and still is like opening the door for sabotaging thoughts to enter with both feet. The Creator of the universe gave us movement as a tool for transformation, and if we don't use it, we pay the price. The energy that should be channeled into construction becomes food for destructive addictions. This is why idleness, combined with loneliness, is an invitation to spiritual collapse. Anyone who is in the process of semen retention needs a routine. Not just any routine, but one that fills the chest with purpose and the mind with direction. A walk outside first thing in the morning, a cold shower before bed, or simply turning off your cell phone and organizing your surroundings. Simple attitudes, but loaded with intention. This is the daily alchemy that transforms temptation into discipline. And when you act like this, the body vibrates at another frequency, lighter, more prosperous, more connected with the inner light. Loneliness itself is not the problem. The problem is what you do with it. Use it as a bridge to peace or as an abyss to relapse, it's up to you. True prosperity begins when time alone is used to strengthen the spirit, not to feed fleeting impulses. There's no mystical secret. It's getting out of bed, taking a deep breath and taking action, even when you feel like giving in. And it is there, at that exact moment, that the real transformation begins. But what about when the desire hits hard anyway? The cold bath is more than discipline. It is a ritual of self-control. A practical and direct way to interrupt the arousal cycle. When the urge hits, there's no point in just wanting to resist with positive thinking. The mind has been too trained to give in, so you have to surprise it. And that's where the cold bath comes in, this thermal shock that, in addition to activating the nervous system, puts an end to fantasies. The Creator of the universe gave us the body as a tool of domination, not as a slave to impulses. And the cold water. It's like a slap of reality. It awakens, cleans, renews. It works like this. Did you feel the call of temptation? Go straight into the cold water. Don't even think about it. Turn on the shower, get in and let the water do what it needs to do. In a few minutes, the entire body changes state. Desire diminishes, focus returns, and the mind clears, almost like a reset button. And for those who live in a cold place, without the courage to take a full bath, it's worth splashing cold water on the face, back of the neck and chest. These are small attitudes, but they have the power to nip evil in the bud and keep the light burning within you. It's as if the cold gives you back control of your vital energy. It's not just about controlling yourself, it's about remembering who's in charge. It's about looking in the mirror, after a bath like that, and feeling your soul at peace. And from bath to bath, prosperity stops being a concept and becomes a daily practice. Now, of course, this all works even better when you understand the consequences of not resisting. Have you ever stopped to think about everything that is lost in a relapse? Relapse is costly. It drains energy, weakens the soul, and destroys self-confidence. You need to see what is at stake. Every time someone falls, it's not just the pleasure that goes away. Vitality, mental clarity, and even the connection with the creator of the universe go along with it. The person feels their body heavier, their mind cloudier, and their spirit muffled. Regret usually comes in silence, right after relief. And the worst. This cycle repeats itself like a thief of time, light, and purpose. The emptiness that comes after the fall is real, and everyone knows how heavy it is. You know that day when everything seems to go wrong, your energy is low and your self-esteem is gone? You can bet. He has recently relapsed into gambling. Falling affects the brightness of the skin, posture, and appearance. It is as if the person's aura loses intensity. Women notice. Friends notice. And even the mirror itself gives it away. Prosperity moves away because the energy that should have been directed towards building was wasted in seconds. Relapses are never just physical, they are spiritual. Therefore, instead of romanticizing momentary pleasure, it is better to see the naked truth. Falling leaves invisible scars. But you don't need to get stuck in it. Recognizing it is the first step. The idea here is not to punish, but to awaken. Understand what is lost, and then value what is gained by staying focused. Because there is a strength within everyone that is greater than any impulse. And it manifests itself when you choose discipline over comfort. What I'm explaining here is much more detailed in my ebook, The Power of Semen Retention. There is a simple step-by-step guide for you to apply in your everyday life. It's really worth it. Discipline is the gateway to freedom. Comfort, on the other hand, traps you in cycles of mediocrity. The truth is harsh, but it needs to be said. Orgasm has become the favorite escape for those who don't want to face their own greatness. It's the easy relief that deceives, but never resolves. The weak man seeks pleasure as if it were a basic need, but the strong man chooses discipline, even with all his impulses screaming. And that choice, it's daily. It's in the details. It is in the no today that you say to addiction, and in the yes that you say to the light that lives within you. Discipline is not a punishment. It's a blessing. It's like a muscle. The more you train, the stronger it gets. When you let go of immediate comfort, you take a leap of faith toward peace. And over time, you begin to realize, it's not that life gets easier, it's you that becomes stronger. An example. Instead of running to your phone when you're alone, read something that uplifts your mind. Start with The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Listen to a podcast about spirituality and conscious masculinity. All of this sharpens the sword of the warrior you are. And make no mistake, prosperity does not live on shortcuts. It is born of silent persistence, of the battle fought when no one is looking. Discipline builds what comfort destroys. And it is precisely this choice that shapes the type of man you become. Because when you start to retain your strength, something magical happens. People look at you differently. And it's not by chance. Retained sexual energy transforms into magnetism. It's not sorcery, it's biology, it's vibration, it's spirituality in action. Have you ever noticed how some people enter a room and immediately attract attention? It's not just appearance, it's presence. And this magnetism comes from the energy they carry. When someone retains their own essence, this energy begins to overflow through their eyes, their posture, their voice. The Creator of the universe placed in us a spark so powerful that, when preserved, it attracts like an invisible magnetic field. And this impacts everyone around, especially the opposite sex. This is not a seduction technique. It is about real presence. That kind of vibe that makes people want to hear what you have to say. This happens because sexual energy, when not dissipated, rises. It doesn't accumulate down there, it circulates, feeds the heart, activates the brain. And this transmutation creates a different glow, a silent confidence that communicates without words. This is what makes someone seem more secure, more grounded, more prosperous. All without having to force anything. And do you know the most interesting thing? This magnetism is not just for attracting someone, it is for attracting everything. Good conversations, good connections, good opportunities. The light within manifests itself through behavior, energy, and decisions. And when that happens, the person feels like they are in a different flow. Life begins to cooperate. But to sustain this energy, you need to channel it. And do you know where it starts to pay off even more? when you put this strength at the service of your progress. When energy is not wasted, it is invested. And like any good investment, it pays off in focus, productivity, and vision. There are people who spend the day tired and think it's normal. But what no one talks about is that this constant tiredness can be the result of energy leaks, especially through uncontrolled masturbation. When a person starts practicing retention, they notice the day yields more. The mind becomes sharper. Ideas flow easily. This is no coincidence. This is the Creator of the universe showing that when you honor your essence, He multiplies the fruits. You know that book you bought and never read? That business idea that was written down on paper? That course you abandoned halfway through? Suddenly, with accumulated energy, you are ready for all of this. And more. The energy that was previously spent on guilt and distraction now becomes fuel for concrete action. Practical tip. Take a notebook and write down 5 goals that require energy. Then, commit to 1 a week. This alone begins to open paths to prosperity. This energy is gold. And when targeted well, it creates a silent advantage. While many wallow in distractions, you climb step by step. It's as if time starts to work in your favor. But be careful. This force needs to be guided clearly. Because with energy also comes an increase in desire. And that's where the importance of keeping your mind pure and centered comes in. When thoughts are purified, the soul begins to breathe with relief. A clean mind makes room for intuition, and for the voice of the Creator of the universe. Uncontrolled desire begins in the mind. It is born as a loose thought, which is fed by images, memories, or triggers. And, if it is not cut at the root, it spreads like wildfire in dry bush. This is why retention goes beyond the body. It is a mental and spiritual cleansing. Every time you say no to an impure thought, you strengthen your soul. You tune in to light, to peace, to the frequency of above, and you begin to live more lightly. Want practical examples? When you wake up, avoid picking up your cell phone for the first 30 minutes. Read something uplifting. It could be a proverb, a psalm, or even an excerpt from The Magician's Way by Deepak Chopra. During the day, be aware of the images you consume. Swap empty entertainment videos for content that edifies you. When the mind is fed with wisdom, the body responds with balance. Purity does not come from repression, it comes from right direction. Over time, you begin to realize that your mind is no longer a battlefield, but a temple. And in this temple, there is no room for dirt. It's where inspiration, creativity, and courage live. True prosperity begins there. When the inside is clean, everything around aligns. And when that happens, even your smell changes. Yes, literally. The body speaks. And often, he speaks by smell. Excess sexual stimulation even alters the natural aroma, and this affects more than one might imagine. Few people know this, but body odor is a reflection of internal chemistry. When a man ejaculates frequently, especially through masturbation, the body begins to exude a different smell. A more acidic, denser smell. It is as if the dissipated energy is being expelled from every pore. And yes, women realize this. The Creator of the universe made us with refined sensors, and smell is a silent radar that gives away a lot about someone's internal state. Have you noticed how those who live in retention have a more neutral, even pleasant, smell? This isn't just hygiene, it's chemical balance. A body in retention keeps hormonal levels more stable, sweat less intense, and skin cleaner. Of course, good habits help. Drinking plenty of water, avoiding processed foods, practicing intermittent fasting, and using natural essential oils, such as lavender, mint, or tea tree, can enhance this. But nothing replaces the glow that comes from within. The smell is just one of the external signs of a powerful internal process. It is the body revealing whether it is being treated as a temple or as a deposit of impulses. And as you care for your temple, it responds with grace. This strengthens your presence, your self-esteem, and even your performance on a daily basis. And speaking of performance, have you ever noticed how high-performance athletes deal with this issue? At first, the mind screams. Over time, she learns to listen. Mental control does not come overnight. It is the result of silent persistence. When someone starts holding back their energy, the first few days feel like an internal war. Thoughts come out of nowhere, memories appear like flashes, and suddenly the mind becomes a minefield. But this is natural. The creator of the universe does not plant self-control on ready ground. He molds warriors through the fire of the process. And that's precisely where many give up. They confuse resistance with failure. But the truth? It's just that the mind only grows stronger when it is confronted. It's like training a restless dog. At first, he wants to run, bite, bark at everything. But with patience, firmness, and repetition, he learns. The mind also needs command. Simple techniques like guided meditation, deep breathing, like 478, and daily journaling of obsessive thoughts help train focus. Another powerful tip: reduce stimuli. Less social media, less noise, more silence. This makes room for the inner light to take the place of the impulses. And over time, uncontrolled desire becomes just a whisper that's easy to ignore. The mind begins to seek other paths: books, deep conversations, creative projects. The cycle changes. The soul breathes. And peace settles where there was tension before. Mental discipline becomes a habit, no longer a struggle. And when that happens, even past mistakes lose their weight. Because the real defeat is not in falling, but in giving up getting up. Error only becomes prison when the person chooses to chain themselves. Falling doesn't define anyone. What defines them is how much they get up. Relapses happen. And that's okay. The problem isn't falling, it's using the fall as an excuse to stop. The creator of the universe does not expect perfection. He expects genuine intention. If there was a slip-up, clean yourself up, learn and move on. No dwelling on guilt as if it were spiritual currency. The true warrior knows that each fall carries a lesson, and each new beginning brings more strength. The difference between those who win and those who are left on the ground is the willingness to try again. If you fell yesterday, today is your new starting point. Energy can be restored, focus can be regained, and the soul can shine again. A practical tip: write on paper what led you to relapse. What were the triggers? What were the thoughts? Rewrite this story with conscience. Set short goals: not today, tomorrow, I will meditate for 10 minutes. Small daily victories create the wall that protects you in the long term. This is how you build emotional prosperity. What's more, every time you stand up, you inspire other people to do the same. The fall does not turn off your light. It just reminds you of where you never want to go back. Getting up is an act of self-love, a gesture of faith, proof that you are on the path. And this path leads straight to a deeper understanding of your own essence. An essence that even carries a vital power that many cannot even imagine. Semen is not just fluid, it is condensed life energy. It is the elixir of life, the seed of creation, a treasure that needs to be honored. Few know, but each drop of semen carries a force that goes far beyond the physical. It is the concentration of nutrients, minerals, and spiritual energy that the creator of the universe placed in man to generate life, and not just in the biological sense. This energy also serves to create projects, ideas, opportunities. This is why, when retaining, one feels more clarity, more presence, more vigor. It is literally a reserve of light stored in the body. People like Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, and even high-level artists understood this. They channeled this energy to create. The focus you feel when you are on hold is a direct result of this wasted energy. It's like you have an internal generator running all the time. But when this strength is drained in search of momentary pleasure, the body goes into exhaustion mode. The mind gets confused. Peace disappears. Everything seems harder, heavier. That's why those who practice retention begin to walk differently, talk differently, behave differently. It is as if the vibrational structure itself changes. Prosperity stops being something distant and starts to emerge naturally. And when you understand the value of what you carry, you begin to treat it as a sacred possession. And then, even your body begins to reflect this new state. From the inside out. The body reflects the internal state. When energy is preserved, appearance flourishes, and vitality becomes visible to the naked eye. It's no coincidence that when you practice retention, your skin becomes clearer, your eyes more alive, and even your voice firmer. It is the body responding to internal balance. The creator of the universe does not separate the spiritual from the physical. Everything is connected. Retention increases testosterone levels. improves circulation, and even balances hormones. This has a direct effect on appearance. It's as if the body is saying, "Now we are aligned." And you don't have to wait months to see results. With a week of well-done retention, many already notice more energy, better posture, and even more shine in their eyes. The voice gains resonance. The face deflates. Hair appears stronger. But the most important thing is not the aesthetics, it's what it represents. A body that is vibrating at a frequency of prosperity. A body that is carrying light, rather than being drained by repetitive impulses. Do you want to enhance these effects? Eat well, include dark leafy greens, avocado, chestnuts, and plenty of pure water. Avoid sugar, booze, and processed foods. Do light physical activity, such as walking or yoga. All of this amplifies what is already being cultivated inside. And if you doubt the power of retention, try doing these habits for 15 days. Then look in the mirror and try to say that nothing has changed. Now, what if even your teeth were impacted by this? Retention doesn't just strengthen the mind, it even affects the bones, including the teeth. The connection may seem strange, but it makes perfect sense. It may seem unlikely, but there are those who report that, after weeks of retention, gum problems decrease, tooth sensitivity improves, and even the color becomes healthier. Coincidence? Maybe not. Semen carries high levels of zinc, calcium, and other essential minerals. When the body does not need to constantly replace these nutrients because of frequent ejaculation, it directs them to areas that were lacking, including oral health. The Creator of the universe knows what He is doing, and everything He creates is cyclical, intelligent, connected. It is not possible to say scientifically with 100% certainty yet, but what is undeniable is that retention stabilizes the hormonal system, and this directly affects bones and teeth. Testosterone influences bone density, and a body with balanced hormonal levels tends to regenerate better. A practical example: many athletes who practice retention before competitions report better physical recovery and less inflammation. The logic can also be applied to oral health. Of course, this doesn't do without good brushing, flossing, and a trusted dentist, right? But it's curious how retention acts in areas we can't even imagine. It's as if every cell in the body breathes more forcefully. When man preserves his vital energy, even the forgotten details of the body begin to align. And speaking of performance, how about understanding why the greatest athletes avoid sex before big competitions? Athletes, artists, spiritual leaders, they all understand one thing: holding energy is holding power. And this directly impacts daily performance. It's no wonder that fighters, players, and even monks avoid any type of sexual stimulation before decisive moments. They know that this energy, when retained, generates explosion, focus, strength, and clarity. It is as if the body is charged with power. And the difference is stark. Even simple everyday tasks, like solving a problem, speaking in public, or finishing a project, become easier. Because the man is whole, with all his strength gathered. The Creator of the universe honors those who choose to dominate themselves. This energy is not just physical. It is mental, emotional, spiritual. When a man keeps his essence, he walks more erect, speaks more firmly, reasons more quickly. And the most curious thing: this is contagious. Co-workers notice. Friends ask what has changed. Even strangers feel the presence. The light that emanates from someone in retention is subtle but powerful. It's as if there is an invisible force field around him. And this directly influences your performance in everything. Want practical examples? Take a test: 7 days of retention, clean eating, light exercise, regulated sleep, and daily meditation. Then, compare how you feel when waking up, working, interacting. It's another level. It's like activating an improved version of yourself. True prosperity lives there, not in more effort, but in more presence. And now that you understand the basis of it all, let's dive right into the thoughts that will shield your mind against relapses. You already understand that it's not just about stopping ejaculating, it's about becoming a man with presence, vision, and real power. With every thought you apply, you will be one step further from relapse, and closer to your purpose. But now the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to let it go, like so many do? Or will you put it into practice and feel your soul vibrate on another level? The decision is yours. But no, peace, light, and true prosperity are not born in comfort. They are born in self-control, in the daily choice to respect and protect themselves. So, are you ready to take this seriously? What kind of man do you want to be in the next 30 days? The one who gives in to impulse, or the one who masters his own energy and inspires the world around him? If this made sense to you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. Here, we will continue to deepen this path of retention, spiritual awakening, and personal growth with awareness. And remember, every day is a new chance to be the best version of yourself. See you in the next video. Don't leave it for later. Click on the first pinned comment, purchase the ebook, and start changing your energy, your mind, and your life today.